What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Heel. What episode is it? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Heel Hookers podcast, episode 181, and we are back with another incredible review to PFL Europe. Let's fucking go. You thought I wasn't going to get you with it today, but I did.
Knew it was coming.
Bro, I totally forgot that shit even happened. I hate you.
PFL Meta happened on Friday, too.
It did.
Whatever.
We only watched the main event, kind of PFL Europe.
I watched the highlight.
I mean, there wasn't too much of a main event to watch. 42 seconds.
Yeah.
Big news.
Yeah.
Paul Hughes got it done. We knew that fight was like, you know what I mean? It's Paul Hughes, Usman or Magomedov. That's all there is to it. Usman's crazy for being like 3 fights for him to get the rematch. Nope, just book it right away. Let's go.
Yes.
But the real shit we're here to talk about is UFC 315. It is in the books. Let's go. So many great fights and good stories to get to from this card. But before all of that, like and subscribe. If you enjoy everything we're doing, we appreciate everyone that does. Let's go.
Yes.
We're here. I'm so goddamn much happened last night. From Montreal, Quebec, Canada, UFC 315 at the top of the bill. Belal Muhammad looking to make that first UFC welterweight title defense against Jack Della Maddalena. Our boy, we fucking love him around these parts on the podcast. And he was able to get it done. Unanimous decision victory.
Yep.
Was it 248-47, 149-46?
Yeah.
It just incredible, man. There are so many things to talk about with this fight from both guys. Like, just so I feel like the first thing I've just got to say is just so much goddamn respect to both of them for putting on such a great fight like that. Welterweight division has always been one for the UFC where you get so much star power, you get so many great fighters, you get so many meaningful fights. So that's where it was at the end of the fight, Jack gets it done. They show 13th undisputed UFC welterweight champion. It's I feel like that's kind of just a random thing that they for them to throw out, but it's that really is just a meaningful lineage to show.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's not that random when you look at other divisions that have only had 5 champions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's just with all of the legendary fighters to have title fights and stuff in that division too, for both of them to just an instant classic they put on. Absolutely incredible fight between the two of them.
Super deserved fight of the night.
100%.
How you guys feeling about this one? What are your initial thoughts about this motherfucking incredible title fight this Sunday?
I have so many thoughts.
Go ahead.
I guess starting off with Jack getting the belt, he looked incredible in there.
Yeah,
he did.
I feel like there was a lot of questions leading into this fight because while we've been high on Jack, I've still been trying to keep things realistic, and going back to his last few fights, they were pretty circumstantial. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He went to a split decision with Basile Hafez. Obviously, Basile stepped in short notice, but it was the short notice, just random opponent for Jack.
Yep.
But it was damn, he's kind of giving you a hard time. You know what I mean? To the fact that he even went to a split decision.
Yeah. Classic story of UFC debutant against an up and a good guy.
Has the fight with Kevin Holland, another split decision, but that was just a real classic Kevin Holland fight where he wasn't taking shit serious, and I feel like it was hard for Jack to get into the groove of let's have this fight.
Yeah.
And then the Gilbert fight, he breaks his arm in the first round and proceeds to still have good scrambles, but obviously because he's broken his hand, Gilbert's kind of taking over a little bit. Arm, I mean. But then he still gets the finish in the third round, and it's that's incredible, But now we get to see him at full health at the top of the level, the highest level you could be, his first 5-round fight.
Yep.
And it's how is he going to perform here? How is his wrestling or his takedown defense going to be against Belal? Fucking fantastic.
Yeah. Yep.
How is his striking going to be? How is he going to deal with just someone that has so much pressure, whatever? No, I'm the pressure. You're not the pressure. I'm moving forward. Everything was just so good and so on point,
Yeah, I'd say the other question
and then even for his little mishaps to immediately recognize I was a bit sloppy, my striking could have been cleaned up a little bit. It's it's just, it was a lot of good.
100%.
And like you mentioned, first 5-round main event, that's another aspect that we were wondering about was, how is his cardio? How's his power going to look throughout 5 rounds? We knew how it looked around 3, but how's it going to be after 5, especially with someone who's Belal Muhammad, who is a pressure forward fighter, who does a lot of takedowns, who tires out his opponents. and it was pretty much flawless. It was exactly what you would want out of a 5-round fighter. So it's not. So there's no issues there. Like you said, Belal's pressure was a non-factor, which realistically does make sense after the fact, hindsight-wise, with Jack Della Maddalena being such a press-forward boxer himself, being able to deal with that pressure the way he does. So
yeah. Because like I definitely, because with you saying that, it's like, leading in everything, like obviously, you saying trying to keep it like more realistic of like your expectations and like what he might be able to do. It's like I've just been so confident, and it's like just obviously, it's one of those things where you can always be wrong, but like just looking at it from like the upside of it, where it's like, I felt like that with Belal trying to put on the pressure, like his boxing and like the striking was going to be too good, where like it would be too much for Belal to handle. But I mean, one, for the fact, I mean, like saying that's too much for him to handle, obviously, like in, with Belal losing the fight, it was, but like with it going all 5 rounds, like he didn't get put out of there. The fucking chin on Belal, the heart to keep going, is just so underrated, man.
Yes.
But like I did not expect at all to see like Jack right away, started the first round, just meet him in the middle, start using the jab like to the head and body in a way that it just instantly set the pace on like how he wanted to fight, and Belal instantly just went along with it.
Yes.
Not
because it's normally Belal doing that. Belal's normally the one that puts that pressure on, is like, no, we're fighting my fight. And that's what I was saying, is Jack was like, nope, I'm the pressure fighter. This is my fight. And Belal's the one that was just like, okay. It was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then to just, Belal obviously before the fight saying of like, he's going to show the meaning of Canelo hands and he's not going to grapple with him. He was not going for takedowns too much in the early part of the fight. You know what I mean? Like he was just throughout that first round, just striking it out with him. Overall, at the end of the day, probably wasn't the smartest. He probably should have got going on that way faster and to just not do any of it. But I wonder if maybe even like that was part of it, of like, no, like I'm going to go out there, strike with him, maybe like get him guessing on like when I am actually going to like grapple, And so that's where it's like committing to just the striking. That's why he kind of pulled it back a bit to feel it out, get the tempo and everything. You know what I mean? Because it's like as the second and third round like did start to go on, Belal's like ability in the stand-up against Jack instantly started to get better. Like the second round felt so much different from the first round. Like it felt like Jack was just so in control of like every little thing, and Belal wasn't like he was just too like timid to go in, But then like he actually started to bring the fight to him. Jack was still ahead and doing great work, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like it started to become more of like a real fight. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, for sure. Because it was like once the second round came around, second, third, fourth, and fifth strikes thrown, Belal either matched it or technically threw more. He just wasn't landing the same.
Yeah.
His accuracy wasn't like, it wasn't as high. So Jack was just landing more no matter what. And then obviously the shots were just far more impactful from Jack than they were from Belal.
Oh, yeah. Because it's like with you saying of, Belal missing, it's like there were definitely plenty of moments where it felt like Jack wasn't really respecting Belal too much, where he was just kind of getting hit with shots that like he shouldn't have been and like he probably could have avoided. But when he decided to move his head and fucking be in the groove, there were moments where Belal's throwing 4, 5, 6 punches at him, and he's just landing nothing, just whipping air. You know what I mean? Like the fuck. I know we always talk about it, but it's like the striking and boxing of Jack is just. It is the top of the level with this fucking welterweight division, man. Like I don't think there's anyone that can box at the level of Jack here. Like it is just such a tough task to ask from someone.
No, yeah, I agree with that. Like, I don't think anyone else in this division is boxing as well as Jack Della Maddalena at all. Like,
Ian Gary said he boxed the ears off him.
Bruh, I don't know how many people are hanging with those strikes in general. The
Ian
knees, Jack's knees are vicious.
They are.
Bruh.
Because it's like, it started with obviously in the Gilbert fight, like where he just landed the one knee that didn't even look like it landed clean, and it had Gilbert so thrown back, he obviously finished the fight. And then going to this one, it was like every time he touched him, I felt like he was opening something up, splitting something up, or just like didn't look crazy, but the reaction or like physical damage was crazy,
Yeah.
Like he threw up that one knee, and commentary is talking about, oh, he's cut. And then the camera changes, you see the other side of his face, and it was a mess immediately.
Yeah.
And
absolutely
it's just like, because like with that, and then to just like bringing it back to like the toughness of Belal, and just like you said of like I agree. Like, I don't think there's anyone in this division that could take half of what Belal withstood last night from Jack Della Maddalena. It's like you said, one knee from him, Gilbert was done. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's a bit more on the chinnier side at 170, but it's like was just cooked, and it's like all of the damage that was just accumulating on Belal. Afterwards, seeing the fucking picture of his lip just split right down the fucking middle. Man.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it. We probably didn't realize because one, it was a bit closer to his mustache, but like with the way his nose was bleeding, his mouth was bleeding. Like it wasn't one of those like, oh, just clear right here, lip flapping around, you know. But he was a mess. His nose swollen to hell. Like,
and it's like Jackie Legs walked out of there. He got like, you know,
he had
nice
the bruises around it.
But it's like, like all in all, not the most banged up at all. Like just a fucking flawless performance for your first 5-round fight. You know, obviously, like with saying that, it's like, there's obviously always things that could be better or whatever, you know, tune it up. But it's like a 14-month layoff, which is another thing that I saw like today, which is just kind of crazy. The last 3 welterweight champions to win the title all won it off of 14-month layoffs, which is
crazy.
Leon, Belal, and Jack all won their title off of 14-month layoffs, which is just so
Shavkat's coming back after 14 months.
Hey, I don't know, man. That would kind of suck because he fought December. So that would put us
February
8 months away.
Yeah, but that's fine. Sean will fight in between.
Yeah, but that's just
not Sean, Islam. Sean's gonna have to sit out.
but yeah, man. So happy to see that for Jack to be able to put in a performance like that, be able to get it done, get like his just, you know, round I think it was 3 and 4, I think it was, where I was just kind of like I'm just like, I figured that Jack was in control and winning most of the rounds, you know, but I'm just, you never know how the judges are gonna see shit sometimes.
Well, round 5 for sure was Jack's, like
but it's like, just nice to see, you know, unanimous decision, getting it done, getting his opportunity. 18 fight win streak, man, has not lost since his first 2 pro fights. It's just incredible,
right? Because with the grappling, because we didn't go into that like too much, Belal did go 3 for 9 on takedowns. He didn't land a takedown until round 4, and then 2 in round 5. And it's like Jack, at first it like was a little scary because we're like, okay, no, like you got to get up, you know, you got to make sure that you're winning these rounds like all the way. And it seemed like he settled for a second, and then he was like, all right, time to move. And he got himself right back up. He talked about it, and he's like, I was just catching my breath. Like, I knew I was fine and that I just had a minute to breathe, and then I could get up. His ability to scramble in there was really good. His takedown defense was on point for sure. I just think that in a Sean fight, like, if, you know, he does end up defending against Sean Brady, he needs to work on his cardio for grappling. Not that he showed to like super gas out or be exhausted, but that's going to be a way different pressure, and Sean will push it right away. So it's like, if you're giving up a minute of control time in round 4 because you just want to catch your breath, you can't do that against certain guys. Like,
and the thing is, Sean Brady is not someone who is like going to, Canelo hands, blah, blah, blah. No, he knows his game plan. He knows what he is good at, and he is going to be going to that.
And it's
round
not like his
1
striking is bad. It's basic, but he puts on a lot of pressure. He does what he needs to do with it to get himself to the ground and then really start to cook. Like, and then because then even with like someone like Buckley, where it's like, if he's putting it on you and then decides to get you down, he might not be going for the sub right away, but he's certainly going to start working towards ground and pound immediately. It's like, you don't have that time to just breathe. So that's like one thing that I would like to see a bit cleaned up in that aspect.
No, 100%. That is something that does need to be cleaned up. But like, even then with like the Sean Brady fight, like if that were to be like let's say his next one, those knees that he has are devastating as fucking hell. I don't know if Brady's gonna be able to withstand those like that.
That's what me and Jimmy were saying, is that while that might be a factor with the Sean Brady fight, Sean does not withstand half of what Belal did last night, and it might not even be an issue.
Dude, he was getting hit by shots from Leon Edwards in the pocket, and JDM's going to do a lot better to hit him with strikes that are going to be a lot more effective in that range. So it honestly is just one of those things where it is like, Sean needs to like be wary of that knee, and if he is, then it's going to be like an interesting fight. But if he gets clipped with those knees, I don't see that fight going out of the second round.
Yeah, I agree.
That's is like with just the welterweight division right now, Sean and Buckley are just going to be the two guys that are going to probably be the hardest fights for all of these top tier guys. You know what I mean? Who knows like how like, you know, the result end up like shaking out at the end of the day, but it's like those are going to be the tough ones for sure. And it just even like with that, it's like, you know, to just think about how those fights might go and everything, but it's motherfucking Islam Makhachev that is up next for that 170-pound title. It was confirmed by Dana that like the 155 title picture is waiting on the result of this fight. Islam instantly talking shit, like not really talking shit, but just like saying that it's double champ time. You know what I mean? Like just calling his shot as soon as the fight ended. Jack, like, you know, saying that he welcomes the fight and everything. He's gonna get it back for Volk. Like I cannot wait for this. I know you. But it's motherfucking Maddalena, man. 18-fight win streak. It's absolutely incredible what he's done. I just don't. We've been saying it where it's like I don't know the physicality and how everything is going to play out for Islam at 170 pounds. I feel like he might not be as big and physical as he really needs to be, like as some of these other guys. And bro, the way that fucking Jack went out there and was defending the takedowns and scrambling and everything with Belal Muhammad, give me fucking JDM. I don't honestly like. I want to just say by knockout because I just believe in him that he can find the shots, you know. And it's like 14-month layoff, not like all of these things. Now he's got the title. He had this experience. He's only going to be more confident. I believe he can get the finish, but even if he doesn't, he's going to go out there and he's going to be Islam Makhachev, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world right now. Lock it in.
What is that? What's that old saying? A championship after a fighter wins a championship, they get 15% better or something like that.
30%, something like that.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, like Freddie Roach, I'm pretty sure. Like Teddy Atlas, one of them.
Yeah, one of them said it. And I mean, it's kind of true. Like the thing is, you're now going to be more confident than ever, but like also just the fact that now you have also longer breaks between your fights usually than when you're coming up. So you're able to heal a little bit more, and also you have a lot more time to game plan, and you are now like looking at only certain fighters who are going to be fighting. So it just everything's gonna be more dialed in, like for sure. And it's like one of those things too, where it's like everyone is so confident and like they believe that they're the best in the world and they can do it. But it's like it's a different thing from believing it and actually going out there over 25 minutes and proving it and doing it. You know what I mean? Like that's just it's one of those things. So yeah, man, I cannot wait for that fight. I forget if it's August or September that they were talking about. That was supposed to be the Perth card. So good chance that just gets turned into a pay-per-view, and then we fucking get cooking with that. And then more than likely, International Fight Week, we're gonna get fucking Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira for a fucking interim title. Hopefully, that should be how it plays out. I mean, hopefully the UFC isn't a fucking big bag of dicks to the fucking Islam, and there's like, nah, defender vacate, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Right, they're just like, you want to go to 170, you're done at 55. Like, I will say this: going back to Perth, give me Islam versus Jack Della Maddalena main event, co-main event, Volk versus Evloev.
Yeah,
that's exactly what Jimmy said earlier.
Give me that. Kaikar France fight somewhere on the card. We're good. Probably fights against like Amir Albazi or Brandon Royval. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. You could cook up some good shit with that, man. That would be one of the best fucking headlining and co-headlining fucking fights like in UFC history. I feel like with those two, like that's absolutely incredible. But yeah, I can't wait to see how 170 plays out. Just the first step in the new generation getting their opportunity and getting it done at the title level now. The time is here. It's come, and it's so much goddamn fun. For Belal Muhammad, on the flip side, 24-4 overall in his record now. It's one of those things where everything that he had to do to get the opportunity and all that, his ass is never going to get an opportunity again at the UFC title. Like, he would have to go on like a 5-fight win streak or 7-fight win streak or some shit. 36 years old. Yeah. Is he 37 now? But yeah, 30, like around
36,
there.
37. Like, by the time he would get another title shot, he'd be 37, 38. Have it fight like a 5-fight winning streak. So,
And now it's only going to be, fight Shavkat, fight Sean Brady again, fight Ian Gary, fight Buckley, fight
Michael
Morales,
Carlos Prates.
Yeah, that's where all of that is at now.
Yep.
So I really don't know where exactly he's gonna go or who he's gonna decide to fight next. But it just, even though you're gonna have a lot of people just probably talking shit of oh, he never defended the title, anything like that, can never take away from him that he's a motherfucking UFC welterweight champion of the world, and And in all reality, too, it's 2 title fights, and winning it and then losing it. Instant classic with Jack Della Maddalena, and then the fucking performance that he put on against fucking Leon Edwards was absolutely incredible. It's he had 2 goddamn great UFC title fights, and that's fucking more that you could say than Tyron Woodley. So, no, he did. I guess he did have 2 good ones. He did have 2 good ones.
God damn.
Let's go.
Shots fired.
Nah, he had 2. He had the first Wonder Boy fight and the Robbie fight. That worked. That was good. But this.
Oh my.
Oh, I guess Darren Till too.
Right. Darren Till.
He has it.
He does also have 2 of the worst welterweight title fights. But,
Oh yeah, I can't forget Damian Maia and Wonder Boy 2. Absolutely horrible. Damian Maia also has 2 of the worst title fights in UFC history. Let's go. Neither here nor there. Moving on. 170 is great though, but another great division. Female flyweights, absolutely incredible. This title fight, we weren't too excited about it coming in. It was it was just one of those things where it's Manon deserved the title fight. This is the rightful fight to do. We can finally move on with the division after fucking all the bullshit with the trilogy and all that. And I really thought that this was just going to be easy win for Valentina, just no problem at all. And she struggled at points in this fight way more than I thought she was going to. Ends up getting the nod 3-2, I'm pretty sure, on all judges' scorecards. That's the UD. Retains the title at 37 years of age. How do you guys feel about the performance from Valentina and the fight more generally?
The fight more generally, I was kind of surprised, but she struggled a lot more than what I was expecting. Especially with the takedown. The first round, that was the first round, and we all were oh yeah, Fiorot has nothing for her. The way it went, it was just basically what we all thought was going to happen. The next 4 rounds where it got interesting, and Manon just going all out.
Manon became a grappler.
Yeah. Oh, so you're a wrestler now? No, exactly. Going 1 for 5, 0 for 5, 0 for 2, and then in the 5th round, not even shooting a takedown, but getting 1:57 in control time. It is what it is on that one. Valentina gets a knockdown in the 4th. Generally, it was very weird how that fight went because of what Manon was doing, but I still was Shevchenko. By the end of the fight, I was Shevchenko still won this fight.
Yeah, it was just certain things that Shevchenko was doing that it's I know you know how to do better.
Yes.
I know you could do more, even just in the clinches and just letting Manon just the way she was holding her against the cage, and she's you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to try to break a grip. I'm not going to work for underhooks, but I am going to hit you with these really weird side hammer fists for the next minute and not do anything while you just gain control time.
Yeah.
I just don't know what was going on in certain points like that, you know? That was where it was confusing, because it's it didn't have to be that close.
Yeah.
Why?
No, yes.
What happened?
And it's always been something too where it's she's an incredibly smart fighter.
Yes.
She has incredible IQ. She knows how to adapt and win fights. Tell me why, round 1, we said, it was easy fucking it was so fucking easy for her, because like we said, Manon's just gonna go out there, throw punches at air. Valentina's gonna move, see them, and then she's gonna counter, because that's what she does. And she found the right hook in the first round, and she was landing them every fucking time. And it was just so easy. It was some leg kicks and body, whatever, you know what I mean? But it was really that right hook. And then the second round started, and good for Manon, instantly switches shit up. I'm not just gonna run in right into Valentina missing on punches. I'm gonna be more patient. I'm gonna wait more, whatever. And then Valentina is just okay, I just have to throw the right hook, and then I'm gonna win this round. And then she just throws the right hook basically as her only main shot, and just never fucking lands it throughout that round consistently, and then just loses the round from the adaptation to Manon. And it's it's like, yeah, like good for Valentina at 37 years of age to like get it done, to get another title defense, the only champion to fill up all the rubies on her belt. Like she's an absolute legend of the sport, easily the greatest fighter in this division's history. But I was just so like just
kind of
perplexed at that point of like, what are you doing?
She's usually very good at making adjustments in middle of the fight. Like it is weird that she wasn't able to do it in this one, but like it just is what it is, I guess, on that one. And it might be somewhat due to age, might be just like overlooking Fiorot in a certain light. Like
I don't know.
I don't know. It's just weird.
And then, so like, because then with Kate, like, just bringing up with the wrestling and like the grappling shit too, it's like I just had like the thought afterwards. I was like, how did her and Alexa both get worse at wrestling after their trilogy? Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah,
like what?
That is weird.
They both sold their soul to each other, and they canceled out each other's wrestling. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know.
It's like, the clinch work was so bad from Shevchenko, like getting out of the clinch and all that. It was just like, what are you doing? I know you know to get double unders, reverse the position. It like, is Fiorot that good or that strong?
Is that it's not even like we're trying to talk shit like about her skills. It's the fact that we know she has these skills, and just watching her not put them to use, and it was like, what happened? Like.
Like
it's like go sorry.
I was gonna say, like Jimmy said, like she's now like 100%, even though before this it was already cemented, best woman in this division's history. Like obviously, like even before this it was obvious, but it's just further cementing it. Probably at this point, damn near the second best women's fighter in UFC history. UFC specifically, Jimmy. Not
I know the probably I feel like at this point you would have to probably give it over Ronda Rousey, honestly. Like
that's honestly the only other argument would be Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, I get that Ronda Rousey did what she did, and she's literally the reason why women are fighting in the UFC, and she should always deserve that respect. But Valentina has like accomplished significantly more, you know?
Well, so it's, I mean, like in terms of the division, because even with title defense, so like this puts her at 8. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yes,
overall
8 title defenses overall,
and I'm pretty sure Ronda had 6. But it's like,
I believe so.
But it's like the thing with it where it's like, I know, like, you know, something, especially like a lot of people would say, it's just like, oh, like the time that Ronda was fighting, and like, you know, just like the level of competition. In all reality, like, especially you look at where the division is at now compared to fucking Valentina's record, she literally fought all the old fighters. Jessica Ai, Jennifer Maia, Cynthia Calvillo, fucking Caitlin Seminara, you know, like she literally, like most of her title run is all old generation fighters as well, that it's like, it's pretty goddamn comparable, honestly. And then it's like just the fashion of Ronda, like destroying her opponents. It's like fucking for Valentina to go 25 minutes with Liz Carmouche and not do shit in front of her. It's like Ronda literally finished her instantly. You know what I mean? You know, like it's, so that's where it's like, it's just one of those things.
I get that. And even all to the record, but just even with like Valentina just still being around, still getting it done, still winning at the highest of level, and like gaining those names of the newer people. Like I know Jessica Andrade has been around forever, but her being in there, and Tyler Santos and Alexa Grasso, Manon Fiorot now, you know what I mean? That's just what I mean, where it's like, she's just, like,
and that's what I said, like, she has to be now. Like you have to give it to her, but it's like, I feel like even like shit losing to like Alexa in the first one, like I feel like she still probably had it at that point, but I feel like just still a bit more arguable potential, you know what I mean? But
I get that, but that's also like just looking at it, like her only loss.
I'm also fucking, I give too much credit to old school fighters, so I'll always do that.
Like the other fighters she lost to were only Amanda Nunes at that point, Liz Carmouche. Like you can look at the Alexa Grasso fight honestly as the Holly Holm fight for Ronda Rousey, where she was looked at as, you know, the favorite going in, should just dominate the fight, blah, 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 and then loses. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then to show, obviously, just that level to come back get it done, reclaim, and now literally like another new generation fighter, you know, where Ronda got broken from it, and, you know, so it, but yeah.
So there's kind of that.
We can't forget this, though. Not important, but Manon Fiorot with the knee to the head while Valentina was down, and the ref just being like, It's fine.
Yep.
I'll warn you at the beginning of the next round. It was close to the end of this round, whatever.
Yeah.
Because the thing that really just got me like about that was like when he warned her to, like at the start of the next round, and it being like handled like very nicely by Mark Goddard or whatever. I'm just like, he literally did nothing in the moment. How did he handle that good? Like, you literally watched it happen and then just let the bell ring like 10 seconds later. Like,
right, because that's only a minute break. If Valentina was actually rocked by that shit, she should have gotten a 5-minute break right there. Like 6 minutes, you know?
Shades of Holly Holm versus the Iron Woman, the Iron Lady. Just shades of it. But yeah, also the only round that all judges agreed on was the second round for Manon Fiorot. The only ones that they agreed on was the second round. Two of them had the third, then Guy Gerard had the fifth round for Manon.
Okay. But yeah, it's like like the second round was definitely like easily Manon like that, and everything else
1-1.
It had moments of it being close where I was just like, I don't know how they're judging this, like especially with how some of the other judging went on the card, which we will get to. I really was not confident in how they were going to score shit this last night.
Yeah, and then with what's next for them, I saw Valentina like talking about, Manon, like don't retire, you still have stuff to like offer the sport. I didn't see anything leading up to this about that, or like Manon saying that. I feel like it kind of makes sense for her though, because she is not very active. She fights like once a year. Clearly her goal was to become the champion. She didn't get the fight. She is 35 years old.
Yes.
I feel like she probably has other stuff going on, considering she's 12-2 at 35, not fighting actively. Just
debuted at like 30 or 31.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like she probably had a specific goal. She's just doing this shit. Like, I don't know. At this point, what is she going to do? Just fight the up-and-coming contenders and then try to do it again, and she's going to be 37? You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where if she doesn't have to fight and she doesn't need this was just something she wanted to do. There's nothing left for her to do at this point, and I understand, you know? Opposed to someone like Valentina, where she has given, like, her life to fucking combat sports. She can't even probably fathom the thought of, like, I didn't get it, whatever. This chapter of my life is over. Like, this is her life. Like,
and that's where I was going to say, because, like, you are 100% right on like Manon, if like she does retire, where it's like like it makes 100% correct, like that's 100%. But it's like you said, Valentina has literally given her life to martial arts, so it's like to her, even if she loses the title and like can't get it back, if she feels like she can still have performances in fight, like she's gonna fight, like and that's where it's like you still have more to give to the sport, and you know what I mean? It's like 100%,
and that's why I'm like, I'm sure she can't even fathom the idea of this just being a chapter and not your life.
Exactly.
But for Valentina, like, I don't know if you want to skip into the fight that matters with this one.
I think we should just skip into it because
because Natalia Silva getting the win over Grasso, the way both of them performed, Natalia Silva grabs that belt and she's our next champ.
Yes.
I'm pretty goddamn confident in that, honestly.
Yeah, because Alexa didn't have anything for her.
No.
And it comes down to what we mentioned in the preview of it. Her fucking footwork is incredible. She is way too fast. Her kicks are just too on point, and she just controls the fight. Her movement is not predictable. You don't know what she's going to do. Like, just like the footwork being on point really just plays so much into her. The constant feints, the constant movement, like her takedown defense, just ability to scramble, like the instant reactions to like, no, I'm getting out of this, or I'm going to work if we're in the clinch. Like, she's not settling in positions. I don't know what Valentina is going to do in that fight, the way she performed against Manon, you know?
Yeah, because
I am still very interested in it because I know Valentina and her team are extremely good at game planning and seeing very minute things. Because, like, the thing with Manon, like, the way we were talking about it, it is, like, one of those things where Manon doesn't do that normally, what happened in that fight. So it was going to have to be a mid-fight adjustment. Her game plan probably was very strike-heavy because of the way Manon Fiorot fights. So this is going to be very interesting to see how she does again. What they game plan for Natalia Silva, because I know they're very good at it, and primarily still both strikers, so it can be very interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, like she'll fucking go back to their lab and fucking cook something up for 7 months for sure, and like, and because And like that's where with like even with the Valentina of like saying how she got caught up in certain things with it, I feel like that's like could have been part of the problem of like maybe just like you said getting older and like just some of those things not being like there as much where it's like just getting maybe too locked into the game plan, but it's like they have the set things that they know like will work, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But it's like it's just like what do you do against an opponent that has better footwork than you, is faster than you,
is 10 years younger than you.
But
like going into like the speed and all of that,
This was just like gonna be just more general sorry. Like the entire division, like
so then sorry, go on.
like the better footwork, is faster. It's like has great takedown defense, moves like just has cardio, and then it's like not just a point fighter and like I'm just gonna touch you with little bullshit. It's like because if you just run in or like are too obvious with shit, now you're getting kicked in the face and have dynamic striking like that's hitting you. It's like, just what do you do? Like, what are any of these women in this division going to meaningfully do to her across 5 rounds or 8? Because that is still something where it's like we do have to see for Natalia Silva. It's like we haven't seen her in 5 rounds, but it's like what
I doubt her cardio is bad, like in that situation. So.
Like what are they gonna do? They can't touch her. They can't land the better strikes on her. They can't grapple her. Like what? It's like I did. Like you said, I'm still interested to see the fight with Valentina because it's like if anyone's gonna figure out what to do, and you know what I mean. But it's like if fucking Natalia Silva goes out there and gets the title from Valentina, this division is fucked. It is like
Natalia's gonna go on a run similar to Valentina.
I would not be surprised because it's like Aaron don't got the striking.
Nope.
Like Macy Barber doesn't have the like. She's very like good everywhere, but she's not great anywhere to really make a difference. I feel like it. Like
she's already beat Jasmine. Tracy isn't that good. I'm just going down the list because I don't think Rose or Jessica get another title shot. Neither does Viviane.
And it's like she beat Jessica and Viviane already. Like,
exactly.
Like it's just like like she's like what 7-0 now in the UFC. I'm pretty sure she's fought a lot of fucking top contenders already.
Yeah, she's 7-0 with wins over now Alexa Grasso, Jessica Andrade, Viviana Araujo, and Jasmine Jasudavicius in her UFC debut.
Yeah, it's like if I don't know, man. Like, and it's just. It obviously sucks to see for Alexa Grasso because it's not like we're not fans of her. Like we want to see her do good, but it's like going into this, we knew just how tough of a fight this was going to be. Just the fucking forward boxing heavy, like pressure of Alexa, which throughout like the first half of it didn't even have that much pressure.
All she had was a double jab.
Yeah.
She would throw a jab to a double jab and then back up.
Yeah.
And that's all she would do.
Like you got to crowd the kicker, and she would just relieve all the pressure that she would earn with those jabs. Like,
and she couldn't land on her.
No,
that was just a big part. Like she could not land on Silva for shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say.
Round 3, 23 of 61 shots. Like
honestly,
she was trying her best. Like in round 3, like
she really was. I know it's just something I kind of realized with all the 125 fights on this card. I think we have already set up the next couple of fights with Silva versus Shevchenko, and then don't need to jump all the way down to it, but just mentioning this then Jasmine versus Alexa, because that fight makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it really does.
That is entirely possible because we will fucking definitely get to that.
Yes, we will get to it,
But yeah, man, 125 is cooking.
It is.
So many great fighters, but I feel like Natalia Silva last night, she really might have set herself aside from the pack. For sure. The next generation of fighters, honestly.
Because I feel like if you went back about a year and a half ago, it was like, okay, you have Natalia, or maybe 2 years, but you have like Erin Blanchfield on the way up. You have Natalia Silva on the way up, Karine Silva, Manon, just kind of doing her thing. Jasmine wasn't really even in the mix at that point. But now Jasmine's still doing good things, so that's good for her.
Yep.
But Macy and Erin and Manon have kind of just hit a certain point where it's like, oh, you need to improve. You need to hit a run. You need to do things better because, Natalia, the one person that kind of, like you said, just set herself aside. Like, no, I'm at the top. Karina Silva taking the loss to whoever it was.
Araujo, I think.
You know, like just all of
feeling that setback where Natalia passed it with flying colors. Like and because it's like, you know, with you saying like Aaron, Manon, and Macy, it's like Macy is the one that it's like she had setbacks earlier on, but is now it's like improved to like get to where she is. But it's like,
but now she needs to take that test.
And like she just still hasn't like fully proven that caliber, that it like she hasn't set herself aside like that, like Natalia just did. But yeah, man, I super excited for the future of this division, and just an incredible performance for Natalia Silva and for Alexa Grasso. And just real rough, just run after getting the title and everything has just honestly only been seeming the performances have been decreasing in just everything. And I don't know, man. I don't know if it's one of those things where it's like, you know, just I know that especially like with her and everything, it probably won't happen of like leaving your camp or whatever, but it just really seems like she needs to like dial in on some different tools and like get so like she's just too caught in on like, okay, boxing of like, I'm gonna get my jab going and I'm gonna land a right hand or whatever. And it's like, like you said, she couldn't get a jab going in this fight, so there was just no other offense to offer, you know, like it just
like I'm not sure if like even a change cap would even like it might help, but like it's not like they're a bad gym either. Diego Lopez, her, Aldana, Lupi, like are all there. So it's just like one of those things where it's just like I think it just is a matter of maybe mentality, maybe just like maybe her mental just after the draw and then lost to Valentina, like just not being there. I don't know. Like it's hard to say.
I don't. Because honestly, with you saying all of those people, I now think that there's a little bit of a problem with that gym. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, because
it does.
I've been saying about it forever that Lupi needs to add tools to her game.
Does.
Irene Aldana, she fights in a division that doesn't matter, that has no good people. So she really is just forward pressure boxing, and that has done her pretty solid for the most part, you know. And then it's like Diego. He kind of just has forward pressure boxing as well, but with an amazing ground game. You know what I mean? Like it's the only real one that kind of came in with a different skill set and has, you know, like it
started off grappling, then moved into the boxing.
Like there might be a little bit of something to that, honestly. That now just kind of it's like because, like you said, they're not a bad gym, but it's like 2025, like the highest level, so many of these camps are just too well rounded, you know, and that might just be a little bit of a
Go train on Moreno for a little bit. Go to his gym.
I
think that'd probably be a good idea.
Like so,
I do think there's a great aspect when you're sparring with other people who you have not been sparring with, you know, consistently. They know what you do, you know what they do, just going into a new environment as well. Fresh eyes on your style, be able to pick apart and kind of just fine-tune things. Because everyone who's basically in the UFC in the top 15 and in like the top 5 conversations, it is essentially just fine-tuning for the most part. Like that is all you really need.
100%. So but it was a great performance from Natalia. We'll see how all that plays out at 125. Going back up to the featured bout, though, originally scheduled for a bantamweight fight between two top 15 contenders. But then Jose Aldo, struggling with the weight cut, ends up asking for a featherweight fight. He weighs in at 143. Aiemann Zahabi, I'm pretty sure they said he was like a pound off or something for making weight. And he had rehydrating, weighs in at 142. This was so I have so many fucking feelings about this fight because Aiemann Zahabi gets the unanimous decision win over Jose Aldo, which Jose Aldo ends up retiring afterwards, which it just fucking sucks. But like Jose looked so good in so many moments of this fight. Yeah. I just really thought that he should have won this fight. I thought rounds 1 and 2, he did enough of the better work on the feet to be able to get the decision. Round 3 goes out there and fucking blasts Aiemann, has him fucking all over the place. So like her just fucking running around, just had him fucking like feet and hands on the ground, kicks him in the face and blasts him backwards into the cage. Like it was crazy. But then He looked up at the clock.
3 minutes left.
The biggest, most dramatic look up I've ever seen. Where like, I'm not gonna lie, at first, I thought that he was like clowning on him. And then you guys were like, and I was like, oh shit, I read that wrong. Because like like he just had that moment and he did where I thought that he was just fucking around, and then I
kind of saw his eyes get really big, realizing how much time was left.
Yeah, then I realized very quickly
3 minutes on the fucking clock in the third.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of fucking.
That's a lot of time.
If you're looking at the clock, you want to see 45 seconds or something. You know what I mean?
Maybe a minute.
Like, yeah, like that is what you're probably looking
at
for.
Least halfway through the round.
Bro, you're looking up at the clock and there's half of the round. You're probably cooked in your mind.
Yeah.
You know, like you're probably like, oh fuck.
But at least you're halfway through when you did all of that for the first half. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, yeah. Because that's the thing. It's like Jose Aldo. Like he is so explosive and so dynamic, and especially as he has just gotten older throughout his career, he gets fucking tired. That is something that will happen. He will fucking slow down. But it's just usually he does so good throughout the beginning half of the fight that it just kind of doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And he's able to keep safe enough. But
this, it was like he got exhausted. And then I don't even know what happened. What, did he throw a kick and just slip and fall back onto the ground?
I think it was basically that.
Zahabi didn't go for the takedown. Like he just kind of fell backwards and he hopped on top.
The biggest reason for that is he looks up at the clock. You know, the dramatic look up at the clock, kind of gets big eyes. Aiemann knew immediately what was going on and just forward pressure just tried to go into him, just throwing shots. Like, oh, you're tired now? Let's fucking go.
Yup.
So Aldo was always on the back foot. He like throws a kick, and Aiemann was. I think he just like threw a jab and he was off balance, so he went down, and then just gets on top for the rest of the round. He gets on top at exactly like 2:32 in the round, and then just rides it out from there. Good ground and pound. The elbows were vicious as hell.
Like Aldo was trying to just hold on, keep him close.
There was at one point where. This is the reason I wore this. He had his fingers in the gloves, and you could clearly see it.
Because he was trying to keep them hands down. Yeah. But Zahabi just kept breaking free, and like those elbows were just vicious. The one that just cut him open, one of the last ones. Like, it was vicious. But like you said, I feel like Aldo should have won the second round.
It just fucking sucks. Like all that he put into fucking it just feeling like he got robbed of that, man. And like,
the fact that somebody gave Zahabi a 30-27, that's just criminal.
Was it 30? I thought it was all 29-28.
Was it not this fight? Because there was multiple bad scores.
No,
this was all 29-28.
Okay. My bad.
You're thinking of the Bukauskas fight. We'll get to that later.
Okay.
But yeah, it just either way though, it just like I thought that was clear, just 1 and 2 for fucking Aldo, and then
because the numbers were close on 2, but Aldo just had the better shots.
Yeah,
like
I'll admit, like, because I went back to rewatch this fight today. I also and then I also watched the other fight, but I was very much all right. Aldo won round 1. Aiemann obviously won round 3. I didn't need to go back and watch round 3. Like it was obvious who won that one. And just because the last 3 minutes. The second round, honestly, was for me a coin flip. It was close. It really was like one of those things where I'm like, this isn't a robbery. But like it's close.
Yeah, I get it. It just it just fucking sucks for him to just especially just retiring off of that. It just
and just even really hearing him say that it's like, his heart's just not in it anymore. He can't just be going to war anymore. It just
I mean, this dude has been fucking fighting for so goddamn long. Just
so 42nd professional fight. Well, professional MMA fight.
Yeah, like it. Just so many generations ago of fucking fighters that this dude was running shit. Like he was the fucking man in WEC. Like he was already cemented as the guy fucking back then. And it's like that's when fucking Uriah Faber was the man, and fucking Dom Cruz, you know what I mean? And it's like just for him to still be a ranked contender at this point and putting on fights like that, like it's just incredible, man. And just definitely does suck to see, but what a goddamn fucking resume and a career for the fucking King of Rio, man. Jose Aldo Jr. It just, he, like, me getting into the sport, my friend showing me, like, he was the guy of, like, this is my favorite fighter, like, watching all of his fucking highlights and shit. It just, like, yeah, it just sucks to fucking see him going, and just off of that, it's like, shit.
No, yeah.
But who knows? We'll see what happens, what he ends up doing. Maybe he'll go back to his roots, do some jiu-jitsu competitions or something like DJ after fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. Aiemann Zahabi, though, 37 years old. Obviously, the biggest win of his career.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where he's, like what's gonna happen, like where his career is gonna hold, but hey.
I mean, him versus Rob Font? Why not?
Yeah, that's
I like. There's not much for him above right now because there's a lot of fighters who are booked right now.
And then it's just 37 years old. I don't think the UFC is too keen on like doing too much.
And the thing is, Rob Font's also older, so it's like it really. Yeah, they don't care about Rob Font either.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what the UFC decides to do with him. Last fight to talk about on the pay-per-view portion was supposed to be Benoit St. Detroit and Joel Alvarez fighting at it, 155 pounds. That did not end up happening. Joel Alvarez had to pull out. Very sad, and then said that he's probably going up to 170, so that's just even more sad. Terrible. So in steps in Kyle Prepolec, week's notice, coming back to the UFC, had an 0-2 run, comes back short nose to fight Benoit Saint-Denis. And Benoit, he goes out there, he gets the arm triangle in the second round. Yeah. But I did not like this performance from him at all.
Hell no. If that was the game plan for Joel Alvarez, I feel like he would have gotten subbed round one. I'm not going to lie.
I was saying that Joel was going to go out there and win, and honestly, after watching that, I have no doubts.
I have no doubt. Like, Joel Alvarez would have won against that Benoit Saint-Denis.
Because the fucking it almost looked worse of him walking face forward into punches. Yes. It just looked so bad. This, I don't know. And then the takedown attempts looked even worse than normal. When
Kyle didn't even land one strike in round one.
It's because he got how much control time did he have?
4 minutes and 32 seconds.
Yeah, because he fucking got the takedown right away, but he was basically doing the goddamn flying eagle takedown that I fuck around with and fucking going in for takedowns. He's just dropping down with his arms out, fucking going into him. I don't know, man. He called out fucking Gamrod, Hooker, and Gaethje. They all finish him in under 2 rounds.
He's too open to get hit.
Yeah, and then his grappling is not where it needs to be to just be I could grapple these guys, I
know he called out those guys. Honestly, give him Benny.
God fucking what? No.
I'd rather see him fight Grant Dawson.
Yeah,
that's the fight I would like to see next.
He has 2 somewhat winnable fights in the top 15 right now. It's Grant Dawson and Michael Chandler. Yes. Those are the only 2 options that he should be fighting, honestly.
Remember what I was...
Everyone else fucks his ass up.
Remember what I was saying to give Paddy Benoit Saint-Denis as his way into the top 15? And we were all like, he fucks him up. We were so wrong on Benoit Saint-Denis' skill. And just what he can do. It's insane. I'll admit, I was wrong about him.
No, it's
because he didn't really give much time to show that in his fights. You know what I mean? He finished people pretty quickly, and the other guys were just kind of low level enough that he was just running over them if it did make it into the second round. But it's once it got into Dustin and Moicano, and then even this, and having our eyes open to the flaws and now really seeing them, it's he is just too open. That's really his biggest issue. Because even in the second round, when he had Kyle up against the cage, he did exactly what he did to Dustin, which got him knocked the fuck out, which was have him up against the cage, arms down, and just swinging crazy fucking left and right hooks. Gaethje, Hooker, and Gamrot all take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Most of the top 15 takes advantage of that. And we see him do that in almost every one of his fights. Where he gets them backed up and then just goes crazy because he's like, I'm going to finish you. And it's like, bro, some people are going to fight back.
Yeah, because it's like I'll just never forget it. It was going into the Dustin fight, and I was just watching fucking highlights of Benoit Saint-Denis, and it was him versus Thiago Moises, where that was the exact thing, and I was just like, oh, he's gonna lose to Dustin, and I was just like, yeah, like and that's where that was where all of the doubt started, and then he went out there and got knocked the fuck out, and I was like, oh yeah, and then just Moicano, and I was like, damn, like he's real open, huh? Like the jab's gonna be a fucking problem, and that like just obviously it just went how it did. It just
got taken down immediately, and then the stupid top pressure from Moicano busted him open. And then the jab was a problem because all he had to do was put that jab on him, and it just opened up more for a doctor stoppage. Like,
and it's just like, man, we were so high on him and everything, and it's like, just started to get those doubts, and it's like, honestly, at this point, I don't believe he's going to improve on his skills much at all in his career, and he's gonna get dropped out of the top 15 within the next 2 years, honestly.
I honestly think within the next year, potentially, if he actually is active.
It just depends. You just never
depends
know
on who comes in and who they got to replace him.
Yeah, but like now,
like he should not move up at all in the division right now with that performance. And two, like you have Ignacio Bahamondes fighting Fazeev. You have Rufi coming in. You have guys coming in up into the division that could just knock him out.
Yeah, but then guys at the top are going to be leaving too.
Because it's like Joel's number 15, he's leaving, and either way, I don't see the UFC keeping him ranked because they probably don't really like him too much. You got Dustin coming up on his retirement fight, so it's like those are two people right there to match the two people you named.
Gaethje loses one fight, he's out of the division. Islam's going to be out of the division and at the top, and that's going to lead. Like we'll see how exactly. But
Ludwig Klein fighting Mateus Gamrot.
Potentially, I guess. We'll see. I don't know if that's we'll see how it all shakes out, but so there's definitely going to be guys moving around, coming in and out, so we'll see how that all shakes out. But that's why I give 2 years. We gotta see how it goes. But man, it definitely just does suck to see. But that is the pay-per-view portion of it. Let's get on to the motherfucking prelims. And we like to bounce around, go to different things here and there. And me personally, I have some fucking strong ass feelings on a fight that I really want to talk about, but something way more important and impressive happened.
My girl,
and
I was the only one who believed.
It has to be.
Thank you, because I wanted to talk about it.
Bro, who other than when fucking Jessica Andrade decides to fight in the most brickhead fucking way possible and just gets one punched in fucking 2 minutes or something, and other than when she fights like that, when she actually fights smart and is like being on top of things, who the fuck has done that to her like Jasmine Jasudavicius has done? Who?
Bruh. It's what I was trying to say is that at this point in time, I know Andrade has fought at 125 and she's had a couple fights there, but it's like her record at 125 is not positive. The majority of people that she has the wins over at 125 are kind of just like the older names in Cynthia Calvillo, fucking Lauren Murphy,
Caitlin Seminara,
you know what I mean?
Where those are her 3 wins now in the division,
And then she's losing to Erin Blanchfield and Natalia Silva and now Jasmine Jasudavicius. She is undersized for that division. She really should not be fighting there. And then going into Jasmine's just a bit bigger. She's very physical. She's down to fight. And I didn't think that she was going to do this specifically, where she was just going to go in, literally just get the takedown and you know what I mean? Land a couple strikes and she's like, all right, it's lit. I got the sub, 2 minutes, 40 seconds. She got the RNC. Like I didn't expect it to go that quickly, but I'm also not surprised. 5'7" to 5'1". She has a 6-inch reach advantage over her. And like I said, just the physicality and willingness to just go out there and look for the finish all the time.
I get it. It just, just didn't think that her overall skills, like, because obviously she's physical, she's tough, she's willing, but I didn't think she had the overall skill set to go out there and do that. And it's like, if you know, like she ended up getting the win, and like, you know, like just Jessica Andrade was just struggling with the distance, or like, you know, and with the physicality, and she like and Jasmine won a decision, I'd be like, okay, like I was wrong, but like, yeah, like, you know, she was able to do it. But to go out there and to just pick her up, slam her down, and get the sub like she did, like that was just so easy. Like that,
surgical.
It was just so impressive, and like just crazy, man. Like
it was
all the fucking props,
insane.
and that's where it's just one of those things where it's just like, yeah, like I fucking love to be right about fights when I'm like, this is how it's gonna go, and it actually does, and it's like, yeah, Natalia, Silva, Grasso. It feels great to get it right.
Yeah.
Ain't got no problems being like, I was so goddamn fucking wrong, because Jasmine is a way better fighter and a real fucking player in this division at a level that I did not expect at this point in her career. And so that is 35 years old too, I think, right? It's
36 now. 36. She just turned 36.
Like crazy, man.
Do you want to know what's
just
crazy?
Getting better.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to figure out how many fights this is, but her last 3 fights in Canada have been her last 3 subs. The Darce over crazy. Priscilla, the Darce over Ariana, and now the RNC over Jessica.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Well,
don't fight Jasmine.
That's also 3 of her last 5.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, because I'm pretty
then
sure
she decisioned Fatima and Myra.
Because going into it, they said she was 4-0 in Canada, right? So now that would make her 5-0 overall in Canada in her career. But yeah, so don't fight her ass in Canada, or you're getting subbed.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just so incredible. That was so goddamn good for Jasmine. She deserves to step up in the rankings. And like, you know, just kind of saying earlier, bro, a fight with her and Alexa Grasso.
It makes all the sense in the world.
Because that is something where it's like, you know, on the feet with her just being like just so pressure forward and stuff, that is going to like play good into the striking of Alexa Grasso, where she will be able to land and get things going and stuff. And so it's like, bro, that is going to be a fucking fun fight. I would love to see that.
No, yeah, for sure.
No, 100%. And then, Jessica Andrade should just fight at 115 for the rest of her career.
Yeah, like bro,
obviously.
She's literally like, because she's has she won her last 3 fights or no? Because she had the loss. Yeah, it was to fucking Tatiana and Jan. Sorry, so she had those. But I mean, in there.
Like Tatiana and Jan though, like one was both title challengers, and like
one of them was Brickhead. 2023 Jessica.
Yes, one of them was Brickhead, move forward, get countered right-handed, and then the other one was a guillotine. Like that's kind of Tatiana's submission. So
so it kind of is what it is. But yeah, that was absolutely incredible. I know for me, I won't spend too much time on it, but I'm very upset that my boy Iwan Cutelaba got robbed. He fucking won that fight against Modestas Bukauskas, and that was such fucking bullshit. How in the fucking world can you score all 3 rounds for fucking Modestas Bukauskas? And like you said, I was saying fucking 30-27. Like, I have no problem with that 30-27 Iwan Cutelaba. Yeah. How in the fuck? There's not a you can't look at the stats to back them. You can't look at the fucking meaningfulness of the strikes during it
you really can't.
There's nothing.
But it's just so funny because like you're 100% right. But this is exactly what I'd be talking about. And I'm not sure if I brought it up in the podcast before, but if I have and anyone remembers, this is what I'd be talking about. You see how angry he is for Iwan Cutelaba?
You have brought this up, but I think with us, just us 3.
Okay, I wasn't sure
like
if it was
before
here,
the podcast, where his boys are the most random fighters.
He'd be like, my favorite fighters are Zalga Zumagulov, Tim Elliott, Iwan Cutelaba.
Yes, we have talked about this before. But I will say this, I am 100% in agreement with him on this one. This was a complete robbery.
That's what I said. He's not wrong, but it's just like the level of emotion coming from him.
I want to make him madder. Don't worry. I want to make him even more mad.
No, don't do that.
No, you want to know why?
This would have been his first 3-fight win streak in the UFC after so many fights.
It also would have
be 50-50. Like,
yes. You want to be even more mad? So, Procopia.
Wait, no.
Procopia.
Yeah, fuck them. They scored 29-28 for Aiemann Zahabi.
No, he Yes, but
Right.
well, that one I was a bit more right, in my opinion. But here's the thing: you want to know the best thing about this? Has not judged an MMA fight since 2016. The last time the UFC was
but
there.
I have something to make you feel better, because this wasn't the time for him to go on a 3-fight winning streak. I know you want him to be 50-50, but he can't go on a 3-fight winning streak. It's just in the numbers, okay? But now he's 8-10, so his next 2 fights will be wins, and then that'll put him at 10-10, and he'll be 50-50. There you go, buddy.
No, he got robbed. This was supposed to.
He got robbed so that the numbers kept up.
This was gonna be like he was on the new step of his career. He's finally hitting towards his prime. He's a young guy, 32 years old, I believe. 205-pound division. He won this fight.
He's only 31.
31, even younger.
Yep.
And he was gonna fucking graciously give Khalil Roundtree his rematch and smash him again, smash Johnny Walker, and get the title fight.
Well, here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
19-11-1 now in his fucking career. Fuck Modestas Bukauskas. They should give Modestas the rematch with fucking Khalil Roundtree. How about that? How about that?
Bro, it is
Run that
not
back.
Modestas' fault that
Run
the judges
that
did
back.
that. That's crazy.
That is insane.
Stomp his knee out again. No, I know.
That's
And it's not. I don't even hate Modestas like that or anything. I'm happy that he got back to the UFC and everything. But it's just against Aiemann. I'm gonna root for Aiemann.
Yeah.
And you
And you are right. Like, this was a robbery. And, like, it really was. Like, you cannot 1 and 2. You cannot argue anything at all to me about Modestas winning those rounds. They were clear Aiemann Cutelaba rounds. How the fuck you got 30-27 Modestas Bukauskas makes no sense to me, especially when one of your other judges had Aiemann Cutelaba 30-27.
Yeah, the right scorecard.
Like, I could maybe see a 29-28 the wrong way, but
Yeah,
like
I would accept that.
30-27 the wrong way is crazy.
Yeah, wild. So yeah, that was my rant. Ginger, what do you got? What do you want to talk about from the prelims?
I kind of love that we are doing the last 3 fights on the prelims, because the only person to believe in Mike fucking Malott getting it right. Because fuck Chuck Buffalo, he is not a good fighter. I don't know why y'all thought he was going to beat Mike Malott.
This is the fastest I've ever done my Tapology picks.
This is not even close to the fastest I've done. I've done mine like
Jimmy can confirm. I did them in like a minute.
She did do them very fast. I will confirm that.
But yeah, no.
I don't know. I guess I just let the Neil Magny performance live rent free in my head.
Yep.
Yeah. It just like, yeah, right. Left hook, ground and pound was perfect. Love to see it. Give Mike Malott a shot at top 15.
He already got his opportunity. Lost to Neil Magny.
Yeah, he's not the guy to get
a defending your country in this octagon. Canada, on guard I stand for thee. That was the dumbest fucking shit I ever heard.
I'll admit I didn't listen to the post-fight interview.
Oh yeah, he said that.
That was word for word what he said.
That
100%.
Right.
That was 100% what he said.
Yeah.
The start I'm a little bit shaky on, but the fucking Canada on guard I stand for thee. That was exactly what he said.
I'm pretty sure that's out of
when it
the.
comes to defending my country, like you got it.
That's probably something from the Canadian national anthem. I don't know it, so probably that sounds about right.
Really
but I know I was mainly joking about the top 15 mark. What I actually wanted is him versus Chidi and Chikwani.
Sure, let's go with that.
Sure.
But yeah. Other than that, though, Navajo Sterling had a nice performance. Marc-Andre Barrio landed an elbow on Bruno Silva that fucking left a dent in his fucking head and was the first one to ever knock him out. 5-fight losing streak for Bruno, I believe that is now very sad.
Probably gonna get cut or released.
Yeah, he should just hang it up, honestly, after that. Like that.
Honestly,
that
I would also say that he should probably retire, but probably isn't.
Yeah. And then Bekzad Almakhan came back after his a short notice, lost to Umar, and got a first round knockout over Brad.
I was about to same uppercut they hit Umar with.
Bro, his power is nasty. That shit was just wild. So yeah, good for him. Marc-Andre Barrios, Jasmine Jasudavicius got $50,000 performance bonuses. Very much deserved. And then, like we mentioned, JDM below got the fight of the night in the main event. Let's go. Tapology, I should have been the winner because Aiemann got robbed.
He did get robbed, but because of the way, because of the rules and regulations of Tapology, me and Katie tied.
And Ginger tied for first.
Fucking lame. You guys should have tied for last.
Nope.
Tied for first. Which means Jimmy came in second. Eighth time. Well,
technically it would be third, but
all right. Well, let me change it on the.
It's one of those things. It's just one of those things. Yeah. I'm very sad.
And then the draft. I went 2-0 in the draft. JDM and Jasmine getting me a win, but the Jasmine fight was a head-to-head with Ginger, his only fight on the draft. So, yep.
And now I won with Natalia Silva. Let's go.
Yeah.
Both won with 125-pound fighters. All right, let's go. But that is all the stuff to talk about for this episode of the podcast. I hope all you motherfuckers enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And we will catch you on the next one. I don't even know what we're previewing.
Burns versus Morales.
Morales.
Holy shit.
Your fighter is in the main event.
Let's fucking go. I have him on my draft. Peace out. I'm so excited.
My God.